everybody, and welcome to this episode of The Bodacity Show. Jeanette Anderson here again, and today I'm in Titusville, Florida, which is just east of Orlando, about an hour on the coast near NASA, near the Space Center. And I don't have a guest today, but we do have some follow-up from last week's Mentors Moments as well. I wanted to share some of my realizations from the marathon of the past 3 weeks. I was on the Mastermind Cruise, Marketers Cruise, then at Mark Porteous's Soulful Leaders event, then at Paul Fink's Maverick Success Live event. All during that time was quite sick, like very sick, as in had to go to the ER at one point because I thought I had ruptured my eardrum, and was trying to find a balance between doing those things that I had committed to, wanted to do, were important for the business in various ways, and taking care of myself. So today I want to talk to you about how do we find that balance in our business, because I know that's an issue that each of you have as well. If you're a human being, we struggle with how to create a workable balance for ourselves. Often we push way past our limits and don't take care of ourselves, and self-care becomes this notional thing. I know that that's the case for many people. Maybe it might not resonate with you, but if it doesn't, it likely resonates with the clients you're working with. So all of these events I had been registered for, interested in going, various different reasons for the business in terms of what I wanted to accomplish. And in every case, it probably would have served me better to stay home and stay in bed. I wasn't contagious. I had taken 3 COVID tests, but wasn't feeling good, was hacking and coughing and not having a good time. So I as I was contemplating what to talk to you about today, I frankly was really not clear, because I haven't set aside enough time to pause and listen, which has been the theme of the past 3 weeks. Not enough time to pause and listen. So my commitment for this week is to spend quite a bit of time pausing and listening. So the number one thing that I want to ask you is, when we're in the midst of a bunch of activities, when we're doing a lot of things, when we have a bunch of shoulds and have tos, one of the first things that goes is our checking in with ourselves. Again, at least as far as my experience with my clients over the last 35 plus years, checking in with ourselves, being present to our body, being present to our emotions, being present to what we need. So I'm in a situation here where I'm visiting with friends, love these people, and the environment is not very conducive to what I want to do. It's not great for business. So want to stay here with them, but don't want to be in the environment. What do we do? Want to go to the event, but also want to take care of myself. What do we do? So one of the first things is to see whether or not there is a way to have it all, but truly have it all. Meaning, how do we create a win-win in that situation? So in this case, what I will likely do as far as the environment here is let them know about my concerns. They may or may not do anything about it in terms of cleaning up the space and so forth, which is perfectly fine, up to them. And if they do, great, then it solves the problem and we can move forward and it's a win-win. If not, then I have options as far as somewhere else to go. And I let them know with love that I appreciate them and I'm not going to stay here for the full period. With regards to the courses, what could I do? Part of what I did was let the course organizer know that I would come late so I could sleep in a bit, might leave early, would have to leave the room periodically to do things, needed to kind of sit separate. So organized in advance a way to let them know so that they weren't wondering and worrying and being, annoyed with people who are not there, et cetera, so that there was no mystery on their part. Let them know how I was taking care of myself and the people in the room, because of course, if you're sick, you want to let people know that you're not gonna be a negative influence in their event. And communicated that with the people in the room as well, so that they had peace of mind as well. So let them know that, if they chose to hug me, they could, but that I had a flu and I was happy to keep my distance from them, and that it was not COVID, etc. So letting people know, communicating, asking for what we want, working to create a win-win situation. But really a big part of that is communication, letting people know. So the first thing is really checking in. What do we want? What do we need? What's working for us? What's not working for us? Second thing, communicating, asking for what we want, working towards a win-win, and if not, then deciding what the alternatives are and what else we need to do to shift the situation. Not settling, not putting up with, not sacrificing, because that's not a win-win. That's a lose, and in that case, so do they as well. Because they can't win if you're losing. Third thing is really checking into the motivation. Why do I need to be here? Is it simply FOMO? Is it approval? Is it thinking that this is really important for some reason that it's really not, making up things so that I feel justified? So in the case of the Marketers Cruise, really wanted to check out and connect with people I haven't seen for a long time in person, that are strategic in my business and that are friends and colleagues. Wanted to create new joint venture partners, client opportunities, etc. Did do that, but did it in a way that wasn't beneficial for me. So one of the things that I learned, I know you may know this old joke and you may not, and I'm going to modify it a bit because it's a bit crude. So there's the regular joke is about an old bull and a young bull on the top of a hill. I'm going to modify it for us. So there's an older cow, older, wiser cow, and a young cow or calf on the top of the hill. And the young calf says, there's a field full of good looking bulls down in the valley. The young calf says to the older calf, why don't we run down the hill and make love to a bull? And the older cow says, why don't we walk down the hill slowly and make love to all of them? So what I learned in my experience this time around with the Marketers Cruise is that I am an older cow, a wiser cow. I can't do all-nighters to 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning for 5 and 6 days in a row. It just doesn't serve me. It doesn't help me. It doesn't keep me healthy. It's not something that is sustainable. So yes, I could do that in the past, and no, it's not something that serves me now. So how do I not worry about getting to everyone and love everyone on the cruise and get to meet all the people? And what if I don't meet these people? And how can I help people and be in service and all of these things? How about it's okay to love people slowly? How about I might not meet them now, but I can reach out to them virtually? How about I might not be able to support them and coach them now, but I could send them a link for a complimentary consultation? How can we not have that franticness around what we're doing and be the older, wiser cow that loves people slowly? So in other words, isn't pushed by the need to prove, to not miss out, to push and drive because we think we should or have to. How can we trust, take things slowly or not, but I'm talking about this metaphorically and perhaps actually physically, but to not let fear push us, to let us come from love instead of fear, because those are the only two spaces. So in the other events that I went to afterwards, after realizing this, I wasn't concerned about reaching everyone, connecting with everyone. It was more a case of who is in front of me, who makes sense, who's strategic in the room, really being more thoughtful, planful, and intentional around why I was there, what was going to create value for me, for my business, for my tribe and my people and my clients, and for the people in the room. So part of what I'm saying all of this for is I want you to consider for you when you're pushing, when you're driving, when you're trying to do it all, have it all, and be all of it, what are some ways that you can put in place to check in with yourself, to support yourself, to slow down, to relax into the arms of trust so that you're coming from love, not fear, to really practically communicate so that you can set up and create win-win situations. And the only way to know what that would look like is to be home with ourselves and check in and say, what do I want and need? So I wanted to remind you of these things because they've certainly been up for me lately. They've certainly been something that I've been reminded of, yes, again and again. And sometimes we need to hear it again and again, because it's just not our nature to, let life and business be easy, or at least not for some of us. So I'm encouraging you this week to say, what do I want? What do I need? How do I create that win-win in my world? And how do I communicate with others so that I can co-create that with them? What's my motivation? Am I coming from fear of loss or fear of missing out or fear of not being enough or doing enough? Or am I coming from love and a grounded space? And what is it that I really truly want to create here in this moment? Am I being strategic and smart, or am I in reaction and coming from got to try and be, do, and have it all? So some reminders, if you have any comments or questions, if you have experiences with that lately, if you've been having that struggle yourself, please post in the chat below. I'd love to hear your input and your feedback. And truly, I am committed to, one of the things that I've come away from these events with is this group is going to transform. One of the things that I have not been doing is sharing the vision, the purpose of the group, and therefore enrolling you in being part of that solution in the world. It's just another Facebook group. And that's not the intention, nor is that of any use to anyone. Me for my business, you for being a participant, or anybody else. So let's actually make this a really functional community that supports one another practically and tactically, where we show up for each other, where there is, yes, education, good resources, etc. We're going to step up our game on that as well. Inspiration, encouragement, and engagement, where you participate and you get out of it what you put into it. So if you want to speak, if you have an expertise you want to share, please DM me and check in with me, because we are looking for speakers for this year. We do want to provide a platform for people to practice their speaking. If you would like feedback after we do the show, I'm happy to provide that to you. We do want to make sure that you have a depth of expertise and value that you will provide to the community. So we might have a call first to see where you're at with your business and your process. Or process. And I also want to really encourage you to step up and start making offers for what you do on our What You Got Wednesday. It boggles my mind that there is a community here of over 1,000 people, and very seldom do people say, here's what I have, here's what I do, can I help you? When we have opportunities to sell, we should sell. Now, by the way, I'm taking my own advice on that because I haven't been putting stuff in there, and we will be going forward. So if you have suggestions, if you have questions, if you have things you want from this group, if you have ideas on how to make it more valuable and engaging for you, or a more valuable resource, I want to hear them. If you want to participate more in some way, I want to hear. If you think we can serve you in some way, I want to hear from you. So please, let's connect, let's communicate, and let's make this an amazing year, but also let's really truly make this an amazing community for you and for everyone else in it. All right, my friends, I hope this has been helpful as a gentle reminder to pause, to check in with yourself, that yes, we can have it all, but we need to create it in a way that is sustainable and scalable. And that's not often the case when we're coming from any kind of fear, FOMO, or any other non-grounded space. So I look forward to sharing some of my ahas and insights from the various programs I've been in, but I need some time to pause and go and let those integrate and then I will come back and share them with you. All right, I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care. Have a bodacious week. Bye for now.